Up next, SciFiantasy Halloween group build. Let's get to the building. Hey everybody, it's Kenny Conklin from SciFiantasy.com and welcome to another Modeler's Tube video. So today we're going to start building good old Death. We're going to start the sub-assemblies, start getting him ready, and start deciding on painting and stuff like that. Actually, I just ordered a new hourglass for him. Like I was telling you, I saw it on Dr. Faust's video and it's the same exact size. A little picture right up here of the hourglass. This way you can take a look at it, and I'll put a link to the hourglass in the description below. This way if you want one, you can grab one for your Death. So that's pretty much it, I guess, out of me. Maybe I'll talk a little more at the end of the video like I always do. So let's get over to the bench and start cutting some plastic. So actually, I guess I'll go how the instructions tell us, and I'll start with the hood. Get these two guys together. We'll see how bad the halves are. This goes in between the two halves, and then the skull goes in. I'm not going to put him in until he's painted, and then most likely we're going to have to cut these pins off. I will test fit to see how the fit is with that. And I'll get to chopping with my trusty Zoron cutters. I love these things. Actually, I just seen my buddy Mark Dunmore just got a new set of Tamiya ones. I think I might try those too, because these are starting to dull out on me. But let me get these cut off here. You don't need to see that. Everybody knows how to cut, and then I'll be back in a second. Okay, I don't have it glued together yet, but your buddy Kenny here was a spaz already with this piece inside. And I'm looking at it, and I'm not paying attention to where this hole is. I'm trying to fit it. And I'm trying to fit it in like this, and I'm sliding it in down like this, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing wrong? And then I realized the hole is over there, and then this guy goes in there. You can see there's a pretty big gap over there, and then when you take this part, you kind of got to put it on a little bit of an angle and twist it in there, and it's good. So you got a seam up at the top of the hood, a seam at the bottom, and then you're going to have your seam down over here that we're going to have to clean up. So once we put the skull in here, I'll see which seams are noticeable and what his head is going to cover. If it covers most of it, then we don't have to worry about filling these in, and then we'll just put his head in. But if this shows and this shows back here, we're going to have to mess with those. I highly doubt this one on the side is going to show. I really hope it doesn't, because that's going to be a pain in the neck to do that. But we'll find out once we're done gluing them up. So I'm going to be using the Plastruct Bondine on this guy. So let me get this ready. And it looks like I don't remember using that much of this stuff. I must have evaporated. But you can see there's a tiny gap on there. What I do with this stuff is I just touch it and let it suck it in to the gap. And this stuff really crazily melts the plastic together, and as it's in there, I grab it and I squeeze it. And that usually I won't have too much seam cleanup to do, but this stuff really works with capillary action. If there's even a little gap, it'll suck it right in. I don't mind getting glue on the outside either. Because I'm going to be sanding anyhow, and I sand it off, and sometimes actually the glue helps things, hides things. So, oh, I'm getting blurry on you because I'm not paying attention. I'm looking at my hands instead of the camera. So I'm going to make sure this is all nice and tight, and then we're going to test fit Mr. Skull in there and see how he does. So here's Death's skull, pretty nicely detailed. Probably going to do him in bone white. I forgot which company I have bone white from, but then we'll do some white highlights on him and stuff like that. And there's the little pegs. So I'm already having a fit issue with him, so I will show you, or Mr. Death will show you, what's going on with him and his cloak cape. So here's Mr. Skull again, and here is our hood to the cloak. Now, Dr. Faust was saying that he couldn't get these in because of the pins. Well, I'm having more of a trouble getting it in because of the size of the hood. And I know that's not me messing things up. If you jack them all the way up, you still can't get that bottom pin aligned right to get inside. And you actually have a little bit of a tough time taking it out. So what I am going to end up having to do, either I'm going to have to drill 2 new holes and get him in there, or I'm going to cut these off flush. Look at, I'm even having a hard time getting him out of here because of how tight the skull is within the hood of the cape itself. So that's a little bit of a problem there. Once I get him in, that bottom hole is off. So I think I'm just going to cut it, push him in flush, and now looking at him, even with him not all the way inside the hood, I'm going to have to do the gaps over here because you're going to be able to see those, and you're going to see the one at the top. So I will have to gap those up, gap this up. I don't know if they wanted his head sticking out a little bit because I can't get the pin in there to see how far. So now, I mean, that looks pretty cool with his skull hanging out of the side of the cape. I keep saying the cape, the hood. So I'm going to chop it and see what happens. Hopefully it looks good. Okay, I've gone and done it. I chopped it. I chopped this one, the top one, flush with the head. I just put the cutters, like this, and I went bloop. And then I kept the cutters aligned with this one, and I went bloop, and I got that one off. So I left a little bit just in case the skull should be out a little more. So you guys are going to be the first ones to see if we mess this up or not. So let's try to tuck him in there. Oh, so much better. So much better. And his face sticks out. Well, he'll be back there a little. His skull sticks out just enough out of the side to see him, which is cool. That's a little creepier and menacing with his head further back instead of sticking out. So if you're going to build the kit, definitely cut those pins off and then glue him straight in here. I'm not gluing his skull in yet because I need to paint him first. So what I'll do is I'm going to try to, I have to whatchamacallit? Primer. That's the word I'm looking for. I have to primer first. So what I may do, if I could keep them in focus for you, is primer the piece with the head in here. And then once I'm done priming, I'll drop him out. This way I'll have the line of where he is, and I won't have to worry about trying to scrape paint out of there. I could just glue the sides of his skull and drop him hopefully straight in there like that, and we'll have Death's head. So let's jump on to something else. This way it's not that long of a video. We'll do a couple more pre-assemblies before priming. So out with your head. The next sub-assembly, if I'm going by the directions, which I am, is the shoulders of the cloak itself, and then the middle piece here that I'm assuming just slides on top to hold it in place. So again, I will cut these guys off. I'll sand off any little nubs, and then I'll show you what type of gap we may or may not have on these guys. So here's our 3 parts to the cloak shoulders. You have the front, the back, and the middle support piece. What you're going to do is you'll take the middle support, and you see the little holes. You're going to line them up with the 2 little things that are in there, and then we'll just have to glue this in place as a brace. And we'll get the back one on with the same thing, the little things, if I flip it around right, and that'll be his shoulders. There's really no gap here. You see the little line, but that'll go away pretty much with the glue, and then we'll sand that little line out. We shouldn't have to do too much seam work on this guy, as long as when I glue him straight together. Now, is Death a man or a woman? Because I keep calling her him. I don't know. We don't see his ribs, so we won't find out. So let me glue this piece up, and we'll have another sub-assembly done. Now, I'm known for doing this in my videos, and this is especially for our friends that are new modelers. Some crap is going to get messed up on occasion. I was not paying attention with my Plastruct Bondine, and I was gluing away, and I put too much, and I didn't realize, like I said, this stuff runs like crazy, ran and came right down. So I got a whole bunch of glue on the top of his shoulder here, which is no big deal. I'm just going to take some sandpaper. It's dry anyhow already. It dries within seconds. I'll get rid of all this, and we'll have the cloak back to normal. So my young friends or my old friends that are new to the hobby, don't worry about making mistakes. We all make them. And anybody that posts up a build that says there's no mistake on their model is lying straight to your face. And here's our shoulders. I didn't get all the glue out of the seams and stuff, but I got all the glue off the front. Anyhow, primer's going to take care of all of that. His shoulders are all done up. We're not going to have that much of a seam, a light sanding to get rid of that. Everything should be gone. I don't think I'll have to use any putty or anything like that. Hopefully not. Hopefully that seam with the glue in there just goes away. What I do sometimes too on kits like this, besides gluing out here and around the rim here where this stays, I actually take the brush from here. This has a long enough brush that it reaches the bottom. I'll stick it in as far as I can around the edges. This way it gives it that little extra hold. And I let my pieces, these will dry until tomorrow when I get home from work. I'm not going to do any sanding or anything like that with this. So let's put the two pieces on the side and maybe get one more piece in before I go bye-bye. Well, instruction time with Mr. Death over here has us doing his arms next. So I'm not going to do that in this video because what I have to do is the injector pin marks inside the sleeves. I got to clean all that up, and then we'll test fit them and we'll put both arms together. Plus, I think when I get off of here, I'm going to go order some. I'm going to order some Mr. Dissolve putty to try to get rid of this, because it's going to be really a pain in the butt when I put these two together to try to get Bondo or any kind of putty in here and try to sand. So we'll try to go with the Mr. Dissolve putty, and hopefully that'll get rid of that, and I'll clean up these things. So I think we'll call that a wrap for tonight. So thanks everybody for stopping by. That's pretty much it for tonight. Just a couple sub-assemblies. Like I said, I want to get those arms done, and I'm starting this guy early because I have plans for him, and if I start any later, I'm never going to finish him. It should go by pretty quickly, the building. I have an idea for what color paint I'm going to use for the black. I'm not just going to go with stark black. I'm probably going to go with Tamiya NATO black, which is more of a grayish black. And then this way, in the recesses, I can throw a darker black and really bring out those recesses and throw a little bit of a lighter color onto the highlight points of his cloak and his face and stuff like that. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm having a lot of fun actually making videos for Modeler's Tube, not just because it's my site. I just feel like I don't have the restrictions of being such a good boy on YouTube where you got to watch every little thing you say. I just feel a little freer to have more fun with you guys, so maybe my videos will probably get sillier and sillier. But thank you everybody that's been coming to modelerstube.com. I just checked a little while ago, we're up to 101 members and like 4,000 something views in a week, and that's not even with everybody using the site right now. So hopefully more and more of you come over, and that's even if you just registered just to watch the videos, comment, and all that other stuff. You don't have to upload if you don't want to, but we'd like to see more people coming over to upload videos over here. So that's enough out of me for tonight. I'll let you guys go do what you got to do, and I'll probably be back on this guy tomorrow night showing you me filling in stupid little seams and getting other parts together and stuff like that. So I hope you have a great night, everybody, and I will talk to you all soon. Take care, and bye-bye.